Hi, I'm Chris Ogborne. I'm the organiser of the Longleat Fishing and Country Show.
Okay, Chris, how did the show come about?
Well, I'm actually a consultant to one of the best tackle companies in the world, Jardine, and we were approached by Longleat as long ago as last October with just a concept, an outline concept for a fishing and country show here at Longleat. And curiously, we'd actually been thinking along those same lines because we, as a company, the trade, the consumer, all miss the old Broadlands Game Fair. The Game Fair now tends to be focused around Midlands venues, and we've always wanted to get something south of the M4 corridor. So when Longleat approached us, the synergy was there. We thought, great idea, let's go for it. We had a lot of interest from new exhibitors, we had a lot of interest from the public, and we thought, yeah, let's hang our hats on what the trade really needs at the moment, which is the next generation of anglers. We've been doing that in various activities for quite a long time. People like Preston, their initiative is Club Quorum, which is a fantastic scheme to help youngsters into the sport. So we thought, let's embrace that as our number one philosophy. Let's try and put on a show which will cover all levels of angling, all levels of angling expertise, all the different disciplines of angling, but we'll focus on getting in the new generation to this fantastic sport. You can have everything today from a salmon angler showing you double-handed salmon, you have a single-handed fly rod casting, you've got very, very clever stuff going on course fishing demonstrations on the Middle Lake, you've got the best names in the sport showing you how to catch carp on all three lakes. Every freshwater fishing discipline is covered. We're encouraging people to get up close, have a look at the guys doing demonstrations, have a look in their tackle box, have a look at how they make rigs, have a look at the baits that they're using, or in the case of the game anglers, the flies that they're using. But so many demonstrations when you go to the really, really formal shows, as I call them. The demonstrator is on a grandstand somewhere. The guy who's doing the demonstration is down on the lake, and you can't get up close and personal. You can't get any interaction. What we're doing is we're taking away the grandstand, we're taking away the ropes and the barriers, and we're encouraging anglers to get really up close and personal and to get something out of the experience.
Yeah, I'm John Bailey, and I was privileged enough to present the very recent TV series Fishing in the Footsteps of Mr Crabtree, and we've been invited down here to Longleat to, if you like, spread the word that the Crabtree way of fishing is the way of fishing, and we're trying to get more and more and more kids into the most fantastic sport of fishing. The event, I think, is a real success. I have to be honest, the first day was very quiet, but today, Saturday, it's just been absolutely humming with people. The setting is glorious. I mean, I've been lucky enough to work at a lot of the game fair venues, but nowhere sort of competes with this. And I think all the people I've spoken to, and I've spoken to hundreds of people today, they just love the place. So I think this is going to go from absolute strength to strength. Brilliant, brilliant venue. The great thing about Mr Crabtree, for me, and I was very much an original Crabtree kid, and we're going back obviously to the 40s and the 50s, and it was a cartoon series, and Mr Crabtree took his son Peter fishing every month of the season, and it was this wonderful display of cartoons with very atmospheric writing that described the fishing sessions. And as a kid, and as one of millions of kids, Mr Crabtree absolutely dominated my entire fishing youth. Now, the whole ethos, if you like, behind the original Mr Crabtree was making fishing simple, was making fishing fun, making it, if you like, taking it right down to its basics so that everybody can go fishing, and you don't need to be a mega expert, you don't have to travel abroad, there's great fishing on your absolute doorstep. And this is what we tried to do in the TV series Fishing in the Footsteps of Mr Crabtree. What we're trying to do is make people realise that fishing is fantastic, it's fun, and it's simple. You know, you don't need a degree in terminal rigs or bait components or anything like that. You can just go out and you can find a fishery close to you, and you can have some great fun, and I think it's a fantastic way of bonding. You know, what we're seeing is more fathers are taking their sons and daughters, and granddads are taking their grandchildren out, and it's a great way, I think, to build up this relationship within families, and hopefully it's proving a big success. I think for me the real impetus behind filming Fishing in the Footsteps of Mr Crabtree was to get the kids back into fishing. And you know, we're saying this all the time, that children aren't getting out there doing real things out in the countryside, you know, and to me it doesn't matter if they're bird watching, if they're hiking, if they're climbing, if they're camping, if they're fishing, but what I want to see is more children doing real things, and if that's following Mr Crabtree and getting fishing, that's fab.
I'm Tom Pickering, former world champion, and I'm Preston Innovations advisor. Well, we're here to promote Club Coram, which is to get more people into fishing, mainly youngsters that's never fished before. They can get the first starter kit, because you can't get starter kits in shops. And what we've done is starter kits on pole fishing, feeder fishing and waggler fishing, and it gets them started. I think everybody as a kid's been fishing at some stage, and they've caught the first fish. Most people can remember it, and what we want to do is give them an opportunity of having a little starter kit, and so a chance of taking the sport further on and progression after that. So that's what Club Coram's all about. It's been very good. Today especially has been excellent. We've had quite a good, I mean, I don't know whether you can see it behind me, but there's like 2 or 3 lads now. We're a row of kids all wanting to catch a fish for the first time, and they're learning how to fish feeders and cast in and catch a fish and meet stars of fishing, world champions, national champions, superstars in our sport that you can never get in any other sport.
I'm Sarah Phoenix. I represent Preston Innovations, and today we're here to get as many new people into angling as possible. And so for me, one of the biggest things is to try and encourage as many new anglers and children into the sport as possible, because basically the average age of an angler is about 45 to 50, and unless we encourage new anglers in with the children, then in about 10 to 20 years time it's not going to be the same as it is right now. And in fact, it's decreased so much over the last 10 to 20 years anyway, that it's time we brought it back and let everybody know what fishing is about. If you're new into angling, if you go to Club Coram, then you'll find out where the best places are to fish, where we advise people to go, how to fish, the different types of fishing that you can do.
I'm Simon Pomeroy. I'm the MD of Palatrax and Director of Operations of Lone Angler.
And I'm Mike O'Neill, and I own both Lone Angler and Palatrax.
Yesterday was slow, I had hand on heart, but today's been great. Weather's been good for us today, and crowds have come through. It's a good start to a good show, I think. Great format, what a location. Saw some stuff Chris had done in some of the trade mags, and it was worth a phone call, because you know, there certainly isn't something like this and such a fantastic location. I think we just agree with it. It's got to be worth doing.
Yeah, it did, and also quite a lot of the big boys are here, and we wanted to be here with them, because the way this has started off, it's quite small, very intense, and we're going to be one of the big boys very shortly.
Touch wood, so far really well. We've been a victim, I think, of the weather to a certain extent, and we didn't have huge numbers yesterday, but today it's been amazing. We've had people streaming in ever since we opened the doors at 7:30. As you can see behind me, every demonstration has been really well attended and supported. We've got a food village on the far side of the lake where you can actually go in and have a very special sample lunch. You can go around all these artisan food and drink producers, have a little bit here, have a little taste there, have a small sample. You can watch our friends from Argo who are doing a brilliant cookery demonstration over there. Everything from catching the fish, filleting the fish, and then ultimately to preparing the fish. All those kind of things. You can actually look down here. There's a kayak maker who's showing you how to operate a new kayak. I mean, ocean fly fishing in a kayak is the best thing since sliced bread. And even in terms of food and bev, there's all sorts of variety. You can have noodle lunch, fish and chip lunch, and you can get your caricature painted. If you've got a best friend, or even still a worst enemy, and you want a caricature, you can even have that done. So all the usual Longleat attractions are here. We've tried to make it a show for everybody, all the family, really underlining just what a great venue Longleat is. Well, this year's really a toe in the water, with a brand new show, completely new concept for a show. We had nothing to measure it by, so we had mixed expectations. I think today has probably exceeded those expectations. We've had a fantastic turnout. I, for one, want this to go on for the next 2 or 3 years because I have thoroughly enjoyed working with the Longleat guys on it. I think they're pleased because the synergy, the estate, what we're doing here at the show, what the estate normally does, everything seems to click well together. So I think this is the start of great things.